Good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to another episode of My PI Dream. Today is the last weekend. This is the last Sunday that I will be in the U.S. before taking off to go back to the Philippines and get back to work on Villa Feliz. So we got to thinking, what's a good thing, a relaxing, nice afternoon that we could do for Sunday here, for the last Sunday together, me and Ness. So what we decided, you know, we've taken you to downtown Charleston. We've showed you downtown Charleston. We've also done other kind of things here in the local area, but we haven't showed you one of our favorite things that we enjoy doing. And we enjoy going to gardens. And it is a semi-cloudy kind of a day today, so it actually might be a good day to look at the gardens where the sun is not out quite so hot, but it is kind of humid today, isn't it? Yeah, it is kind of humid. So we normally when we have visitors that come to visit us here in Charleston, we take them to Magnolia Gardens. We love Magnolia. That's a great place to go. But you know, there's another set of gardens that's very close to Magnolia that we haven't tried yet, and we're going to try that today. And the name of the gardens is Middleton Gardens. And all of these the gardens that they have here have a common theme, and that has to do with settlement back in the colonial days, as well as the plantations and when there was slavery here in the South. And we're going to explore that place today, and I hope we're all in for a great treat. So anyway, let's head on over to Middleton Place and see what that's like today. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Since this is our first time here at Middleton Gardens, we don't really know what the gardens are like right here, except for what we saw on the website. So they have an orientation building over here. We're going to stop by orientation, and then we're going to pick up our tickets. Now, if you are from the local area or you are visiting Charleston and you like the gardens, I also notice if you are a senior citizen or you're military, they give a discount. I think it's like a 5% discount. So we're going to go ahead and go get our tickets. So we have our map of the gardens here, and it's marked by numbers, and it gives all the points of interest on the inside. And this is the entrance over my shoulder here. So we're going to go ahead and get started on our tour today. So right behind us is the reflection pool. We're going to do it by the numbers. We're going to follow the path. So this is the very beginning, and we're going to hang her right over here, and we're going to follow the path, and we'll explain each one of the points of interest as we go through. Well, what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about the magnolia trees here. Magnolia trees are really big in Charleston. And I want you to see the leaves. They're quite large leaves that they have on here, and they are actually quite big trees. Even though this is Middleton Gardens, they still have a lot of magnolias here. Magnolias line up and down the Ashley River, and they're quite native to the Charleston area, especially up and down the Cooper and the Ashley Rivers here. They have these beautiful blossoming flowers, these big white flowers that come out, but they also make a mess. I want you to see on the ground here behind me all the leaves that come off. And when they start shedding the leaves in the fall season, they do make quite a mess, but they're very beautiful trees. As well as no tour would be complete without talking about the majestic grand oaks here in the south, particularly in the Charleston area right here. And over my shoulder here, look at the size of this oak tree right here. And remember, like we talked about during the historic tour in downtown Charleston, the long-reaching arms of the oak tree and how strong they are, even as far as they branch out. So we're actually right over here now in number 3, which is the secret garden. And I don't know what makes it secret. On this side of the bush is a very small entrance getting you into this little courtyard area. But it's really nice and inviting, and it's nice and quiet back here. And it's right next to, on the opposite side over there, you can still hear the water, and that's from the reflection pool on the other side over there. We're now in the Sundial Rose Garden here, and you see it resides right on the side of the Ashley River over here. Now, what this is supposed to be known for are their varieties of roses. They're supposed to be known for China and tea roses from the 18th and 19th century. When you look inside here, you see some rose bushes inside here, and they're very small. I'm wondering, they're not mature, so I'm wondering if maybe they are cuttings from some of the old varieties, because these are new. And you see over here is the where Ness is the Sundial. So this is kind of neat. This has actually an accurate sundial because it's 11:43 right now, and if you look over here, we have 11 and we have 12 over here, and it's around the 11:43 time period. So this is actually one of the few accurate sundials that I've seen in a long time. I want to show you this massive oak tree right here. This is called the Middleton Oak, and the reason it's named the Middleton Oak is because this is the elder of Middleton Gardens here. This is the elder oak that they have inside here, and it's amazing that it's survived all of these years. This tree right here would have normally been cut down and sent back to England for wood building, because oak is a very cherished wood because of its hardness, and they would have taken it away a long time ago. Somehow this ended up staying here as well. This has survived in numerous hurricanes and earthquakes here in the southeast. Anyway, to put this in the proper perspective, let's go ahead. It's kind of hard with my finger here showing you what it's like. Let's get Ness to kind of come over here real quick, and we'll see how it looks in proportion to Ness. So you you can see this makes up many Nesses right here in the size of the tree. So this thing is huge and is very impressive. And tucked away in a very quiet and very protected area of the gardens is this memorial area with the mausoleum over here. And if you look at the names on the granite tombstone right here, it's like a who's who of South Carolina when it comes to different things that happen, all the way from beginning with the Declaration of Independence, Arthur Middleton Henry, who this entire estate was purchased and or was given to him, this property which he developed, who was the second president of the Continental Congress, the governor of South Carolina, Henry Middleton here as well. And then we have Williams Middleton, signer of the Ordinance of Succession, a very important historical time for South Carolina and for the South. And if you look over here, the mausoleum where the family are all buried. So what you're seeing over here, this is actually the House Museum, and they have a bunch of collections of art and Benjamin West portraits and Charleston-made rice beds, silver, and a lot of things over here of interest. We're going to go inside here. I don't think we can take pictures or video inside here, but right next to it, which is an interest item over here, that is the original ruins of the main house, and we'll talk about that once we get over to that side. Well, what you see here is the ruins. This is the ruins of the main house and what they call the North Flanker. The original family residence here, circa 1705, and the flankers, 1755, they were all burned by the Union troops in 1865. You remember the little thing they called the Civil War. Well, anyway, the house was leveled by the great earthquake of 1886, and the brick walls here, they mark the center hall of the main family dwelling. Anyway, what I want to show you is the view that the family had from their front porch right here to the Ashley River over to the south of it here.
And welcome for those who just arrived to the woodworking area. Thank you all for coming. Have a great day. Father teaching son. Every single bit of this woodworking was done by enslaved Africans who were taught from childhood on up how to do it. They were in the shop by the age of 10 years old helping out. And probably would get their start over here at the shaving horse. And later on, they would graduate to work on the lathe, where one man turned the crank and the other did the cutting. With this tool, they could turn out balusters for staircases and house of wagons. Some of the very best slave carpenters were trained in England to learn the finer points of woodworking, but behind it all was the African knowledge of rice that they had grown for hundreds of years. The English hadn't grown at all. What an interesting situation.
You know you have to buy everybody on the channel a round of beer right now, right?
I don't drink beer, sorry.
Well, what you see over my shoulder here, this is actually a house that was built by the Middletons for one of their freed slaves that they had on the plantation here. And it was actually originally occupied by a couple named Ned and Chloe. And typically in a house like this one right here, the children would sleep up in the loft area above the main room, and the parents would live down in the bottom. Now this is built on like a two-house type of a duplex kind of a style building construction, where there's like rooms on both sides, and then they would share in the center, they would share the cooking area. Now the last known, and I believe, let's see, They occupied this. The house was actually built in 1870. The last known occupant of this house was a person named Eliza Leach, hence the name Eliza's house here. Anyway, this house was occupied until I believe it was 1986 when Eliza passed away, and it remains as part of the history here at Middleton Gardens. I gotta tell you, we're standing on the Mill Pond Bridge. This used to, according to the information, this used to go right over to the Ashley River until they dammed it off, and it allowed it to fill up like a regular pond or a lake here. It's absolutely beautiful here. You see here, this is the mill. Archival records show that this was built by Williams Middleton, and he had it constructed in 1851 as a functional outbuilding and also as an architectural embellishment to the garden. Let's go ahead and take a walk on the inside and see what it looks like from the inside. Now, it's been written that this was also, the roof of this was destroyed by the Union Army when it came through, as were a lot of the historical monuments here in the South, a lot of the buildings. The walls still remain, but they did a rebuild of the ceiling and the roof. Just like our pond back over in our subdivision, you wonder where all these alligators come from. Well, look what we have over here. Back at the beginning again. This is where we started, and we did the tour for today for the gardens. It was absolutely beautiful. Now, if you are visiting Charleston and you want to see it in full bloom, I recommend March. Come here in March, probably the 3rd or 4th week in March, and then you'll see all these azaleas, all of these azaleas here. You will see them all in full bloom. And this park, this gardens, they have tons and tons of azaleas throughout this entire place. We saw it every turn that we went around inside here. Now, there's also a recommendation. There are 2 restaurants. There's one restaurant in the middle, and it's a pretty high class fancy restaurant, but it also comes with the more fancy prices. But they also, at the entrance where you park your vehicle, they have, what do they call it, the market? I think it's a market, and they have, and it's like an outdoor market kind of place, and they have what did they say on that?
Light lunch.
Light lunch, also with light prices too. If you're
Sandwiches.
if you're on a budget. So anyway, we're heading back in that direction right now, and we'll probably grab a bite to eat. So anyway, I think we'll close for today. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of Middleton Place Gardens here. It was actually quite a delight for us. It was really relaxing, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The two big gardens in this part, which are on the Ashley River side of Charleston, Middleton and Magnolia Gardens. Then if you go over on the Mount Pleasant area, which is the east coast part of Charleston, they also have another one called Boone Hall Plantation. Maybe the next visit over here, maybe we'll do a trip over there to take a look and see what they have. They have a lot of big music events, especially if you're into bluegrass. So you up for some lunch?
Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
Well, we're going to go get some lunch. Well, if you enjoyed today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that My PI Dream Heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You will be subscribed, and you will be notified the next time we upload a new video, or probably I upload a new video upon return to the Philippines in about 1 week. So anyway, until such time, you have a wonderful and blessed day.